It's my pleasure to introduce Anderson Santos. So he holds a degree in computer engineering from IME in 1977 and a PhD from LNCC. He served as a professor in the Brazilian army until his retirement in 2023 and continues to work as a professor and researcher in cybersecurity and quantum computing, as well as a research associate at Venturos Innovation Center. And he will talk today about the classical elegance to quantum fragility, the case of the Even-Monster cipher and the Simon algorithm. At the intersection of cybersecurity and quantum computer, Grover's and Shor's algorithm are often the main focus. However, there are other classical ciphers that can also be broken by quantum algorithms. This presentation, we will explore the Even-Monster cipher and examine how it becomes vulnerable under Simon's algorithm. With this one, I'm happy to let it take it from here.
Thanks, Sandra. It's a pleasure for me to stay here in the very interesting meeting. And let's picture where I work. Uh, so that is building here. Uh, I can put, I think, laser point. Here is where I work. It's a very bad place with beach inside, of course.
That looks very bad.
Very bad, very bad, very bad, very bad. And that mountain here is Sugarloaf, né? At a tourist attraction of Rio de Janeiro, where I live. né? Well, today I will talk about Evenman's cipher and Simon's algorithm. Um, in the intersection of better between cybersecurity and quantum, we always listen about Shor and Grover. Yeah. Shor and Grover is very excellent algorithm study. Yeah. I have a research now about Shor in the classical environment. But even Mansur and Simons is very interesting because it's kind of algorithm that Simon in particular that have inspiration to Shor to develop that algorithm. Well, like I was introducing them, my name is Anderson. I'm from Minister Institute of Engineering. It's a kind of Brazilian Army Institute for the graduate of engineering that work at the Brazilian Army, and I work at Venturos. Venturos is a innovation center, né? And the both institutes have Venturos have 30 years of existence, and the IME have 200 years of existence. It was inaugurated about the Queen of Portugal when he was in Brazil. Yeah. Well, I will do that agenda. First of all, I will talk about basic concepts. In fact, only one basic concept. After that, I will visit superficially Shore and Grover and talk about that. And then I will talk about even Mansur cipher, a very lightweight cipher that we can find in some specific places. And after that, Simon's algorithm and how Simon's algorithm can affect even Mansur cipher. Well, cryptography. Cryptography means a way to protect information transmission. né? You can transmit, you can do cryptography with two kinds of management of keys. If you have the same key in the receptor and the sender, you have symmetric keys. né? And if you have different keys, you have asymmetric cryptography. Why I do that different here? Because Shor and Grover impact each type of cryptography in a different way. né? Shor and Grover is like a quantum algorithm of 92 and 94 or 7, depends of what article we are talking about. and they interact in different ways about the cipher algorithms. Shor impacts directly RSA and elliptic curve, né? And Grover impacts symmetric cryptography and hashes. They do not impact a specific algorithm of symmetric algorithm. Yeah. But there is a kind of difference in the interaction about that. Well, RSA and ACC, né, that kind of cipher, they are applied with the difficulty of you can separate a product of two primes. Né? In fact, that is a kind of asymmetric cryptography that you can have 40 years of applied in market like finance. Yeah. And the main characteristics that Shor explores is the use of modulo. Yeah. That kind of operation, if we analyze the math about that, you can search a periodic function about that, and Shor uses mainly the inverse of KFT to do that. That's the kind of impact. In fact, that impact is today a mathematical impact because we can prove that mathematically, but we need a hardware specific to do that. Yeah. It's not in the quantum computer today that is public or we know there's not possible to broke RSA or SCC. But if you like quantum-inspired algorithm in classical environment with GPUs or multi-thread algorithm, you can impact some kind of algorithm, not the market use it, but some like uh, something like of that. So because that vulnerability, né? Uh, USA become initiate in 2017 um, a program to migrate algorithms from that ones to PQC, né? Last year, three kind of algorithms was standardized by NIST, né? They becomes FIPS 203, 4, and 5, and now have two others algorithm that was complete five algorithms, né, that can be studied, future standardized. But the main important here is not the algorithm of cryptography PQC, né, or better quantum safe, quantum resistance is a better name, but the process of change the algorithm, the crypto agility of that, because that algorithm that was selected by NIST didn't was tested enough to be secure, né, to be firm that is really safe. For example, Psyche algorithm, né, was a quantum safe based off isogeny, but he was broken from a laptop. So Shor algorithm is a kind of vulnerability, a threat for better a threat from RSA, and because of that, RSA needs to be changed. Yeah? It attack the structure of the algorithm, but Shor Grover is another kind of approach. Grover attack the space of possible keys in a brute force attack. So what Grover do is reduce the space of possible keys to in the brute force that we kind of test everyone. But here, the solution is not change the algorithm. You know, don't need to change AES, for example. The main initiative that was done in very other initiative is to double the size of keys. Only double size of keys you can maintain the security today. In resume, we can do that kind of table. First column control algorithm, short Grover. Second, algorithm that was vulnerability about control algorithm, RSA, NCC, asymmetric ciphers, né? The impact, né? Sure impacts directly the structure of algorithm. Because of that, we need to replace that algorithm, né? PIC-C NIST roadmap is a kind of very interesting to deeply see about that, né? In fact, the crypto agility about the process to change is very interesting, and we need to do that in, I think, two phases is interesting. The first phase, you change to ECC plus PIC-C, né? It's kind of hybrid algorithm, né? And later only PIC-C algorithm. Grover, né? Impact cipher, symmetric ciphers and hashes, né? In brute force attack to reduce the set of possible keys, né? The solution that was indicated by the specialists and other persons is just double the size of keys. And here I change I came I bring for it's better a facial network that it is find in some symmetric cryptography. Uh, in that facial network, we always not so not so good, but we can find expansion operations, XOR operations, S-box operation, and permutation operations. In fact, that kind of operation is very simple, and we can work with that operation in Quantum 2. Why I do that? Because in even Mansur cipher is only a algorithm that we have a key we split key in two keys, né? One key we do an XOR with plain text. The result we do a permutation about that, and with the result of permutation we do an XOR with the second part of key. In fact, it's very similar to kind of a very simple facial network. Yeah. So it's kind of particularly interesting about what kind of facial network we can use in present in symmetric in some symmetric algorithm you can do to broke that. Né? Here is a very interesting article to see about more about Ibn Mansur. Né? And here I bring this slide again to emphasize, né, that XOR and permutation are presented in Ibn Mansur, and they are presented even in other Feistel network that present in other cipher algorithms. That's kind of interesting to future research about that. Yeah. In phases, né? Even Mansur is that kind of three phases algorithm. It's very interesting because with that kind of operation, very simple operations, né? You can apply that in IoT equipment, né? Where we can do, for example, in medical devices, sensors, and other so on, né? Yeah, I bring here the semicolon of the phases. Here is XOR, first part of algorithm. The second is a public permutation, and the last one is kind of XOR with the results. Here are some kind of explanation step by step. Yeah. For encryption, I have here the keys. The key I have split it yet. Yeah. Plain text here. Yeah. And first we do an XOR with that one. Yeah. XOR is a very simple operation. Yeah. And we do when it's different is one similar equal is zero. That result. Here I do a permutation about that. and here I do an XOR. And that is the cryptogram about the plain text is here. Decryption can do in the same operations, but inversed. Então, first I do XOR, inverse permutation, and after that I XOR with KU. So we can find the same value that okay, same value here and here. Simon's problems begins with that function where we have a bit stream here with any position, two bit stream here to any position. Simon define that the existence of S in the same bitstream space, S different from zero, and Fx equal to Fy, if and only if y equal x XOR s, or that kind of equality if there exists when you have that function with that bitstream interaction. Algorithm of Simon is that one. Here I am calculating the qubit value just after each phase. Então, we begin with initialization of registers, apply superposition here. In fact, we do a Hadamard in any position. After that, we apply an Oracle UF, the same function, very similar to Deutsch, or in fact, Deutsch Josner. Then we measure the second register, and then we apply Hadamard again. It's a very similar algorithm to Shor. After that, we get a first one vector to do that. In fact, if we saw here, the only difference is that here we have not KFT, we have another Hadamard operation here. It's very similar for that one. In fact, Simon was the inspiration from Shor to find that circuit, that algorithm. I'm here. And you do that in minus one vectors, and from that we can find the elements that we can do that as. We can solve in a very little deeper Evenmansur algorithm. We can do that. Evenmansur is that one I told you in some slides before. We can define fx like that. Fx AK1, K1, AK2, XOR P, in the same permutation, X. We can replace that AK1, AK1, AK2 with that one. So we get Fx equal to Fx XOR K1, XOR K2, XOR Px, and replacing X from X XOR K1, in this directory replacement, we do that expression here and applying characteristic of XOR, we can find that one here, Px K2, Px XOR K1. But that one is exactly that one. So Fx equal to Fx XOR K1. With that kind of equality, we can conclude that Fx has parity S like K1, and we found that Fx XOR S equal Fx. This kind of result directly from Ibn Mansur uh, means that we want to find a non-zero vector S such that fx XOR S equal fx. But as we have seen, Simon showed that we can evaluate f with superposition, and after repeating n times, we solve the linear system to find x. Find s. This means to solve a problem that has classical complexity of O2 elevates n divided 2 in a complex system of On. It's a very kind of interesting result about that. But in fact, that cipher algorithm is not market used. I do a research where I can find that algorithm, and I only find a proposed algorithm to NIST, to a lightweight authentication encryption. Yeah, that algorithm is from a Brazilian research, in fact, yeah, but was broken in the 2 or 3 phases in the competition. Yeah, here that one is the same reference of that one here. That one here is the article that proposed the algorithm, and then here the algorithm was proposed for NIST. Karma Quantum Arm Architecture uses a three-round Mansur in the structure. In that kind of uses, it's not a classical Mansur, it's a derivative Mansur, pricing, né, the same way, né? Tweakable with Mansur is a kind of different with Mansur algorithm, and so on. So we can see that, in fact, even Mansur can can be broken from Simon's algorithm, but even Mansur is not used in the market. Is we can conclude that is a kind of academic example of other types of algorithm that can broke that. Né? And I found two shiny patents about that use tweak if Mansur, né? Or derivative Mansur, and it's only that is patent that use it. So no, I don't find other kind of market usage of that even Mansur algorithm. I'm now working about an algorithm like is Leah cipher, né? Is another of lightweight algorithm that we can manipulate them to become similar to even Mansur. Is a result now. Well, and to conclude, all thought there are few situations in which if Mansur can be found, or the cipher that exhibits semi-frequency characteristics may also be susceptible to quantum computer attacks. Né? All that situations is academic situations and not market situations, in fact. Né? More detailed study of characteristics of physical networks presenting significant number of symmetric cryptography algorithms may trigger a chain effect that could break other algorithm. That's I'm working about that. I think that if I do a deeply work about elements of physical networks, I can find some vulnerabilities of them, and because of that, some kind of cryptography quantum threat about that. Yeah. And I'm working this is for hobby, it's better to say, artistic implementation of that. Like I'm a professor, I always like to use, like to show to my students the mathematics of that and the implementation of that. And with that, I finish my presentation. Yeah. Here is is a picture from 1938 of the construction of the building where I work today. Thanks. Let me here.
Thank you so much for your great presentation. So let's give you a virtual clap. So, and yeah, any questions in the chat? If people have questions, please put it in the chat. And I have questions. So most discussion focus on Shor or Grover algorithms. What do you think the research community gains by exploring the lesser known quantum attacks like Simon's? Are we better prepared? Is it something, we have to protect our research with?
Yes, I think that because Grover don't attack the algorithm directly, they attack the space where we can find the keys on the brute force attack. I think there's not a great threat in cipher algorithms in
Okay.
comparison of offshore. But if you saw the Facebook network, each operation is very, very easy to work about. Is shift, is permutations, is XOR operations. I think that I think that there is a kind of combination of that we can work in quantum.
Yeah, this is great. Um, So do you think that the current post-quantum cryptographic efforts are adequately considering the variety of potential quantum attacks? Because
Yes. Yeah, sorry,
yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
so that so you think we are considering enough to be, to protect our systems as soon as we can, quantum is be able to attack systems?
yes, I always like to say that the process of change cryptography is much interesting than the cryptography that was selected. Why? I'm working in crypto agility environment in some way that we have in Brazil, you say legado is a very old system that we don't have source code, but it's running. Né? And I'm working the kind of implementation process that I can change the library call from the system, the old system, and change the cryptography of that with until we can change the system because we don't do not possible to refactor the system, change all the algorithms, and put the system online again. It's very difficult. So the process to change the cryptography is very, very interesting. A lot of great big companies like IBM have process to do that. Yeah. And the NIST always delivered the information that, oh, that's five algorithm is a very good algorithm, you can do that. But I have 40 algorithms that we are analyzing to bring about that. There is no kind of force that the algorithm is very, very good for now. Psych, for example, is a very example. Psych was the finalist of that competition, but a professor in a presentation broke it with a laptop. So there is a kind of we need to go to there. We need to change to PXC in some other situations to use KickID too, but we have the process to change very, very special to that.
Okay. Very cool. So we have one further question also here in the chat. How do you assess the current risk considering the limitations of available quantum hardware?
Oh, it's very, very interesting. I have I'm a supervisor and I work that we do a paper in 2 weeks ago here in Brazil that we don't we use Shore to factor that one number. We use two different IBM computers, Sherbrooke and Torino, and we have different results to break number 15 is very small to that. But we get the same algorithm, short algorithm. We put multi-thread inside of them and run with a cluster computer and broke numbers very larger from that.
Okay.
So it's very interesting to get quantum-inspired algorithm, analyze them, and use classical environment to see how we can do that property inside of classical environment. It's very kind of interesting approach.
Yeah, I wanted to say, so looking forward to see that paper, so and to read it. So maybe you can already share maybe a preprint
Okay, of
early.
course, of course, of course.
Great. So the next question would be, how is Brazil preparing its cryptographic infrastructure for the post-quantum era? And what recommendations would you give to other countries in Latin America?
First, I think that here in Brazil, we have a lot of kind of organization from government that works with that. Yeah. For example, here we have organization that is directly linked with the Republican president. We have other organization linked with Brazilian Army and Navy and Air Force that work with that. Yeah. That's kind of very interesting. And here we have some special researchers that work with that. I think that many ministries, many high level organizations will work with that in near years. Yeah. I don't think that they are very advanced in comparison with US. I think US is a country that is very in front of all of those. Yeah. There is kind of initiative from Union Europe, Australia, Canada, that is very advanced too. But Brazil, I think, is not so similar to that. Yeah. And the first kind of when you talk about Latin America, is that I think that it's necessary to work all of them together, because if you see quantum initiatives in all over the world, Latin America is not kind of similar with the other ones. For example, the initiative you have equator line from above, from below, you have except as Australia, yeah, we have not so inspiration about that. Here in Brazil, we have $90 million of initiative in quantum computers in all over the places. Cureca is a kind of enterprise that do a map with government investment. And the last one that Cureca do is $90 million that from Brazil. And not and I don't see other countries from Latin America.
So your suggestion would be that really Brazil and Latin American countries would all work together on challenges?
Yes, yes.
That
I think
makes
it's very necessary. Like in Union Europe. Union Europe they are doing one initiative together to do that. Latin America can do the same, I think.
that sounds really good to me. So yeah, with cybersecurity and quantum together, still also emerging technology. So let's say that there's a collaboration in Latin America. What could universities and institutions really do as the next step to prepare themselves? Because they are still in emerging areas there. Is it putting workshops like this out there, being, informing more, having research? I don't know. Well, what would you suggest?
Here in Brazil, we have a lot of research centers that mainly with quantum and some kind of cybersecurity. That is not so easy to find one research that work with two kind of initiatives. But there's kind of it's not so joke, but there's kind of Kevin Bacon paradox about you know another person with six time of degrees, yeah, and all the research here they know each other, and it's very easier to work about it.
Yeah.
I can say one example that I'm doing a presentation. One professor asked me, a very good professor. I'm a fan about them. And when we are working about when we're talking about, I realized that he is a very close friend of my supervisor that I don't need about that though. So there's a kind of very uh, uh, small connection about them.
So, okay, and let's say we have, students. Is they're interested really to enter the field cybersecurity and quantum in this combination. So what would be your advice to them? Or where should they start? What should they look first at?
Well, first, yeah, we can analyze what kind of quantum approach we need to do. If we do quantum as a threat or quantum as opportunity. For example, we can use KAOA to find where in the network we put sensors to protect the network. So we can use quantum as opportunity to find some others applies for the algorithm like KOA, like KML, like VKE, that for that one. So the first one is to choose what kind of work we need to do. And when we choose for that, then it's literally open mind about quantum, because quantum is not so easy like others kind of works. We need to stop, see, don't afraid about math. Math is not very afraid about them, and realize that there is a lot of kind of approaches with quantum processors. For example, if you choose a framework from atoms processor, the approach of that is very different from superconductor or other words, gates approach. For example, the first one we can use blockade from QEra, is a kind of framework to use that. We can uh, approximate the processor with graph algorithms to ask miss full checked algorithms from graph theory. And in the other range, we have Qiskit with gate approach. And then choose, in resume, first choose opportunity threat, and after that, deeply quantum, but don't be afraid of math.
Okay. I think if they're in cybersecurity interested in quantum, yes, they have to accept that there will be math. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, so I know especially the cybersecurity is always, of course, a topic for military, for defense, so and I know, of course, there is sometimes the run to, oh, the defense needs to know it first before it can go out there, to be in open science or, yeah. So if you think about open science, you think also this could take care of a couple of these, how to try out cybersecurity, see it as a opportunity instead of a threat.
Yes.
Would we open sign something? Yeah.
Yes, and if it's kind of interesting that I can don't I don't forget to say that here in Brazil, a financial institute is very kind of interesting about security from quantum. It's very interesting because we have a lot of quantum groups in financial institution works not with the opportunity only, but with threat only to threat again, mainly because Shore, PQC, and other words too.
Okay. Okay. So, yes. So, thank you very much for your time. And we are, I think, at the end of the day today. And thank you again for the great presentation. So, I give it back to, yeah, to Qubit Hub. Sorry.
Arturo, sorry for don't present me. Uh, Thank you very much, Dr. Anderson, for your talk. It's very interesting to learn about advances in cybersecurity that are taking place in a fellowship like Brazil. Thank you very much for all to join us on this fourth day of the Kiski Fall Fest 2025. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Chicago time to continue with more talks on quantum computing. Before we finish, I would also like to mention that tomorrow we will share the form for you to register your teams for the Quantum Hackathon. Thank you very much for all and see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
See
Sunday.
you.